Hello all view Hello all viewers. We are starting the Asian Leeches team battle very soon. Just give me a couple of minutes. We will be starting with the live streaming of all the games in this battle. We have three countries, India, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan, playing in this battle. So just a minute to start. Hello all viewers. Sorry we started a bit late right now. The broadcast there was some network issues, and due to a lot of internet issues, we are facing some problems to get everything going on live today. So I hope you all are doing well right now, safe at your homes, enjoying, not enjoying, but just trying to survive lockdown and also enjoying chess out there at your homes. So this is the current game that is going on. There are a few teams which from India, I think three teams from India, and we have one from Pakistan and one from Sri Lanka. We will take a look at the teams again after some time. Look at this game. This game is between Vatsal Dave. He's from Gujarat Lions, and we have Gulam A Mustafa from Chess Talent in Pakistan. The rating is very nice, 2288, and Vatsal Dave is 2072. So let's check what happened in the opening. E4, C6 was played, D4, D5, knight t exchange was done on E4 by black. So knight takes E4, knight F6, knight G5, pawn H6, knight to F3, pawn to G6, bishop to C5, bishop to G7, and knight to E5. Castle. So knight e5 is actually a very nice move, because this knight, if this actually this knight is it has gone to the e5 now, and the other knight from g1 will come to e5 and support this knight. So even if knight d7, knight takes e5 is played, the other knight can come to e5 and try to get a good hold of all these squares of f7, g6. c6 is right now not attackable because of the b7 support, but yes, this knight is going to give a very good impact on the king side. So knight takes g6 was played right away, and that was something missed by that f7 pawn is hanging here. Okay, so knight comes back to e5, rook to f8, and knight to f3, knight to d7, pawn to c6, pawn to e6, and castles, pawn to b5. So missing g6 pawn is actually like a missing teeth in one of your in the front row actually. So it looks very bad out there. This king is just exposed right away, and black has also given away his c6 pawn. So let's quickly go to the position that we were in. Yeah, so this was a position where the g6 pawn was, so castles is not the best move here. Probably e6 can be played here. Just g6 pawn is not hanging. Castles, knight g6, rook e8, knight to e5, rook to f8, and then we have knight to f3, knight d7, pawn to c3, pawn to e6, castles, and pawn to b5, giving away the c6 pawn again. Is there a trap here? So knight takes c6, queen to c7, and bishop takes b5. Pawn to a4, bishop b7, and knight comes back to e5. So this is actually a nice position for a white, couple of pawns up, and also the black king is exposed, so white should be able to win this one very easily. So rook to e3 now, rook coming into the game. This is called as the rook lift. Take your rook to the third rank, put it on the king side, and try to attack on the king. So that is called as rook lift for all the viewers out there. Rook to h3, king to h7, bishop to c2 check, and I think that's where black resigns. So let's go back to tournament, check our team, Khelo Chess India, who all are playing from our team. Let's check that quickly. And just a minute. So from our team, let's just check who all are the top players. Just a shout out to all the viewers out there. Just let me know if my voice is clear and the video is clear. So if there is any problem with the voice or video, just let me know in the comment section. I can see a comment from Fused Silicon. He is asking me to play a blitz game. Okay, I'll play one game, Fused Silicon, in some time. Let's just check top games right now who all are playing. So we have four teams playing today's tournament. We have Khelo Chess India, Wild Frog is playing right now, and let's check one of the games from the top boards of Khelo Chess India. Sony Atharva is playing from Khelo Chess India. Let's check this game. So this game is Gujarat Lions and this Khelo Chess India team. I wanted to pick up a Pakistani team or Sri Lankan team against which we can play. So Manu Patel is playing from Gujarat Lions. So e4, g6, d4, bishop g7, knight to f3, pawn to d6, knight c3, knight h6, and pawn to h3. So general pattern of the king. Okay, guys, this is an idea that you can learn. So knight in the comment section. Thanks Amit for the feedback. So h3, castles has been played here, and bishop e3, f6, queen to d2. As I said before, that this is the general pattern of developing the bishop and queen against this fianchetto structure of the and this to try to exchange this on h6, actually put the bishop on h6 and get it exchanged with this bishop. But this pattern of pawn g6, pawn f6, and pawn e7, putting the knight on f7 will stop this bishop h6 move, and black is going to be comfortable in that case. So 7, pawn to g4, pawn to g5, pawn to h4. White is going for a full-fledged attack on black's king side. So pawn to h6, knight takes, pawn takes, and castles. Knight to c6, pawn to e2, pawn to e5, pawn to d5, and black won this game. But let's check what happened in the middle of the game. So yeah, castles was done. Then knight to c6 and bishop to e2, pawn to e5, and pawn to d5, knight to d7, bishop takes g5. Was sacrifice on g5 here. Pawn takes g5, rook takes f2. Let me just refresh this page. I think there is some problem with the pieces that are moving around. So in India, actually, we are facing a lot of internet issues, or if you are facing the same issues at your places also. Uh, Okay, e5, yeah, this was all done, and we had a sacrifice on g5. So pawn takes, queen takes g5, rook takes f2 was played, rook to h4, h5, and king to f7. Just king is trying to escape, but this is not going to work. So rook takes, okay, so this rook f1, and here white had to play. Interesting, because this knight right now it cannot join the attack on the king side, and you can see a stockfish is showing minus 4.3. If we just go one move back, it shows the move like rook 5 or rook to h1 or even a rook h7. This is all fine. This is how you can play against this black king. Try to develop the attack on this g, playing the rook to h7, then the putting this rook on h1, just trying to support in the h5. But I think going for the exchange here way to play, because after exchange I think white is left with no pieces to attack further. So rook takes, bishop takes, and knight to queen to e3, knight to d4, pawn to g5, bishop king to g6, rook to h1, and bishop to h3. Now white is just exchanging the pieces. This is not going to help white. White has to develop some attack here. If he is not able to develop the attack, he is going to lose soon. Queen d7, and black is trying to bring in all the pieces into the game right now. Queen h3, queen takes h3, rook takes h3, and pawn 2. Just making sure that this knight doesn't come to b5 anytime in the game. Even though this knight is supporting from the d4, black is taking no chances here to allow attack from this knight b5 by playing a6 move. Uh, okay. So Amit, I have noticed your ping, your message sound is getting double. I have tried to correct it. Just let me know right now that if the voice is clear, it is not getting double. If you are not able to, I hope you are not able to hear the sound. It should be clear, single sound without echo. So just let me know. And then we have king takes, rook check, king to f6, pawn to a3, rook to g8, and this is clear winning for black now. So no point in checking the next games, next moves. Let's go back. And I will start a game right now, which you can enjoy, guys. I will just quickly do a background check of my voice problem here. Let's go to the top tables. And we have Shrihan Sabat playing from Khelo Chess India. Let's check his game. World champion is from which team exactly? World champion is from Chess Talent in Pakistan. That's very nice. So let's quickly get to this position. E3 was played in the first move. E3, E5, pawn to B3, pawn to D5, E, bishop to B2, attacking the E5 pawn, knight C6, defending the E5 pawn, and knight to E2, bishop to F5, knight to G3, bishop G6, bishop to E2, bishop to D6, knight, bishop to H4, H5, just trying to exchange this bishop right away. So knight to f6, knight to c3, knight takes h5, knight takes h5, and pawn d4, knight to b4, knight takes d6, queen takes d6, and I think your a4 like traps are possible generally, wherein bishop a3 and just you get this double attack on this queen. So pawn to d3, pawn to e4, knight goes to f4, pawn takes, and pawn takes e3, f takes e3, right? And this is the current live position, guys. So just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back in a minute just to check my if there is any problem with the voice here. So guys, just let me know if the voice is now clear. Hi all, I'm just making sure the voice is clear now. Uh, Hold on, let me just pick up one of the games. So guys, just let me know again if the voice is unclear or there's any problem with the voice. This is a nice night ending. White is up upon, not. This is again the next game between Shivan. Shivansh is playing from Khelo Chess India, and we have Bhagesh Sadhu from Gujarat Lions. Stores, and he should have tried to make sure that his attack is able to stop the white's attack. So let's try to get the next game. So just make sure that you know that there is no berserk in this tournament. Let's try to play a game now. Let's try to join and play a game. Okay, I'll be playing for Khelo Chess India team, and I'll be explaining the tactics or openings that are happening right now on the board. So I'm just waiting for the pairing to get assigned. Okay, game. Okay, so the it's I am paired up against Chatu. Chatu is from the Sri Lankan team, and I'm playing Chess India. So Chatu has played d4. Let's try with knight f6, and probably I'll try to play a. Okay, so he's going for a closed line. Let me play g6. Let's just try to do a fianchetto and attack, then attack white's queen side as much as possible. Try to open up queen side and try to get our pieces onto the. Oh, the f4 pawn. Okay, so this is white is just trying to make sure that everything is c3 now, and I will reply with pawn takes. He's going to capture with the e pawn. Oh, he's pawn, so he's okay to open up the c file and receive some attack in the c file. Okay, let's see how it goes. Bishop to g4 and rook can now come. Yep, and the problem is that white controls this e5 square by with this. Black cannot play e5. That's the problem actually. Let's castle up. And knight b5 is something that is expected. We can play pawn to. Let's try to put the knight on c4 first. Knight on c4. Yeah, knight e5 was expected, and then we have. Let's play knight c4. Let's check what happens now. Just taking some risk. So queen to g3 has been played, trying to attack my bishop twice now. Try to bring the bishop back and make it safe. I think f5 is expected now. f5, but f5 will be met by knight takes 5, and if d takes c5, yeah, knight takes c5, d takes c5, and there's no good space for this knight then. Knight h5 moves to f4. No, f4 is not possible. Yeah, we can capture the e5 pawn later on. Let's try to capture the knight first, and then capture the e5 pawn. The queen has to be, yeah, queen f3, d5 is under attack. Let's try to play bishop takes e5 is something that is expected now. Knight takes, and now I think I can play bishop c6, attack this, pin this knight from on the king side. e4, and now I think we have. And idea is to play rook d8, but meanwhile creating this threat of bishop takes h2 pawn. So we are just trying to gain a tempo here to bring our rook to the beautiful e8, or we should get this rook on d8, because then f takes g6, this problem should not be there. Yeah, let's put this rook on d8, not this rook, because I want to keep my f7 pawn supported with the rook so that this queen cannot capture the pawn after f takes g6. Okay, so the rook has been moved here. So bishop takes, we have a e6 move, right? E6, knight goes back to c3, and then we can play bishop takes e4. Queen takes e4, and then queen can move to c7. Yeah, I think that is okay. Let's try to play e6 here. I hope I'm not missing any combination. Yeah, knight f6 check. Ah, that's what I missed actually. Okay, that's fine. Takes rook is now expected. Yep, rook takes rook, and I have option of going into a bishop and knight versus this bishop and rook, because of bishop takes f3, rook takes f8, king takes f8, and then hmm, okay, so either that or keeping the minor pieces. Let's try to keep the minor pieces on the board. Let's try to develop some attacking chances with the two bishops and this beautiful knight on f6. That's not much of a beauty right now, the knight on f6, but we will, yeah, Bishop d7 I think is expected. Bishop d7 I think bishop takes b2 can be played. But then he has bishop to e5 and my bishop is hanging on. So rook moves and I think I have this check. That should be winning. Did I miss this move on the... Yeah, I missed it actually. Rook takes d1 was possible. And that's not the best way to play, guys. You should not miss out such moves. So I want to not give away my rook, but to give my bishop and maintain the rook. So rook. Oh, I'm a timeout. Okay, I did not see that I'm timeout. Okay, let's go back to tournament. Let me pause and let's see some better games which are going out there. So let's check the game between Ghulam Mustafa and Casper. Casper is from Gujarat Lions and Ghulam Mustafa is from Chester in Pakistan. So let's quickly check what happened in the opening, guys. So e4, knight f6, pawn to e5, knight d5, pawn to c4. White won this one. So Pakistani team is scoring good right now. Pawn e4, knight f6, pawn e5, knight to d5, pawn to c4, knight to b6, pawn to d4, pawn to d6, pawn to f4, pawn takes, and knight to c6. So black in this opening just tries to attack all these pawns out there. Okay, he just wants white to push all his pawns to c4, to d4, to e4, e5, and to f4, and then these pawns become target for black. Actually, that's what you can learn from this opening. So bishop e3 was played to support the d4 pawn, and we have bishop f5 c3. And is there a move like knight b4 possible here? Because after knight b4 this knight c2 threat is there, so rook c1 would be forced in that case, and then probably c5 can be played if I'm not wrong. Okay, so this, because rook c1 is the only way to defend this knight c2 check. That is bishop d3 is not possible, and yeah, I think rook c1 is the only move, and after that there is nothing for black. So knight b4 is not the best move right here. E6 I think can be played. So pawn to e6, knight to f3, bishop to g4, bishop to e2, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3. Still target, but there is a chance of getting a double pawn on c6 after bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and these two pawns can be weakness in black's can be attacked by playing queen f3 and again trying to attack this c6 pawn. So knight to c4, a free pawn given here by white, and bishop to f2, b2 is also hanging. So what if now b2 pawn is captured? If knight takes b2, I think queen b3 is difficult to handle then. We can knight to d3 check. Uh, so knight b2, and I think it's a risky position for black, because queen b3 and queen takes b7 is again a deadly threat. We also have bishop takes c6 there, which can be played. So knight goes back to b6. We have castles, bishop e7, bishop e4, castles, queen to h5, trying to attack this h7 pawn. Queen comes back. Queen queen can be put to h6, but then bishop to g5 is difficult to handle. Again, queen has to come back on the h3 square. So queen d1, knight d5, queen to f3, knight takes c3, b takes c3, and bishop e3, knight b2, just put the bishop on b2, rook b1, rook to b8, pawn to h4, h4, pawn to h5, pawn to g4, takes, queen takes, and king to h7. So pawn h5 I think is going to destroy black's castle out there, but king g7, king g2, and rook h8 is rook h1 is also available to increase the attack in the on the king side. So h5 was played, and then b8, and now black is threatening pawn takes pawn. It's not playable right now, but if that's allowed, then this rook might pin there on the g4 square. So king g2 was played, pawn to f5, e takes f6, queen takes f6. So black's pieces to the game, and bishop to e3. This bishop has joined the party, guys. Look at these two bishops, beautiful bishops on the center e4 squares. Also, this rook has now opened up to attack this queen. So I think the survival will be very difficult right now for black. So queen to e7, h1, and rook to g7, pawn takes, king to g8, and queen to h5, threatening a mate here on h. So king to f8 is compulsory so that this rook can interpose after the check. So queen check, rook to g8, and rook f1 check. king to e8 forced moves, and queen takes rook. So look at this bishop out there. So this bishop a3 move was not actually a good move. It's really a question feel that, because that bishop has done nothing over there from the a3 square. It should have been back somewhere on the e7 or f6 defending the castle king. Of course, white has also executed a very nice attack. So let's go back to tournament now and try to check the next game. So the next game is between we have seen Sonia Atharva's game, we have seen game. Let's check who all are playing from Khelo Chess India. So we have around 33 players playing in today's Khelo Chess India, and we have Jitendra with 1900 rating playing right now. Okay, I think that's not loading up. So let's go here and search for the player. Not sure why it's not working. Okay, this game is going on. Let's check this game. So we have a game between Jitendra and Bhagyesh Sadhu from Gujarat Lions and happening here. So e4, d6, d4. Let me just refresh this page once. Actually, white had a very nice move here. If we just go back here, so white this check first, then king d6 or king to c7 is compulsory after this check, and once probably knight check can be given to the king from to d6 and c7, and then the rook takes queen is also possible, but the bishop could also capture the queen. So white has resigned, but let's go back to the position that we were in. So queen knight g7, queen g6 was played. So I was explaining this. So queen h3 check is given. The king has to move to d6 or c7. In that case, knight e8 check is possible to d6 and c7. Rook table, but bishop takes queen is also possible. So I think that might not work. But queen h3 is something that you can consider here. Okay, so then something that you can consider here. Okay, so then later on queen takes g6 was played, pawn takes g6 and knight to e8, king to e6 and knight to c7, and that's I think king c7 is kind of a blunder here because king to e6 is a blunder because you're just giving away the rook for free here. Okay, so that's where I think black resigned. So black was white is having an extra piece. So let's go back to tournament and check the next game. Yeah, so we have to check the Jay. Jay has requested to check his game. Let's check the game from Jay. So Jay, your ID is Jay Vipin. Jay Vipin, yes, I can see you online. And let's check what you are playing right now. So your game is not going on currently, Jay, as is going on. Okay, so you have to go, Jay, no problem. Next time when you come again, we will check your game. Let's go to the main page. Are leading right now with 136 points, a uh, huge sum of the total of the scores. And then we have chess talent in Pakistan, and we have Sri Lanka team, and on last we have Khelo Chess India team. Let me join quickly and try to win few games quickly for the Chess India. I have just played one game. I think I lost it on time, but let's try to be on our toes, concentrate, and play a beautiful game right now. So I'm waiting for the game to get assigned. Meanwhile, check who are okay. I've got a game, and there is no Bosak mode. Okay, I was just looking for the Bosak mode that I can play and quickly finish few games. It's fine. Let's go for the fianchetto variation of this line of d4, and black is just trying to play some gambits here. Is trying to get, so I'm happy with that. I need to get a good sorry, no draw. I have to play on. because you have your time, guys. You should, even if you lose a piece, you should try to fight. You should try to. So black. Okay, let's go back to the tournament. Let's try to get the next game. And meanwhile, am I there on the consider? I'm no, right now. I'm not being considered in the top eight scores. So you can see here, those who are not aware, below this increment. Okay, so guys, all the players out there, there is no increment in this tournament. It is just to sudden death. So Ganesh is playing Gujarat Lions. I'm playing from Khelo India. I was expecting to get a good player against me, but I should not underestimate any player based on his players are good players, but they have started recently playing on leeches, so their initial rating is very less out there. So let's see. Let's white to play c4, and then there are okay. So knight takes c3 is played. Let me just capture the knight back. E5 and put some pressure in the center right now. There is no way that black can immediately play d4. Yeah, he can, but then pawn e4 will again be disturbing for this knight. So we have to get this center. Okay, let's play pawn to e4. Knight to e5 is expected now, and then bishop to c4 can be played. Have to make sure that our this f7 pawn remains defended. So knight e5 and bishop to c4 gives a very nice threat on this. So let's try to play bishop e6 first, so that this bishop c4 can be met with some other move like queen to a5 check, or probably queen can somewhere. Queen d6 can be played. This is actually a nice tactical game, guys, wherein there are options available with white right now. c4 can be played. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, that what are the good moves with white, and this is one of the best moves that white is having. So we do have a chance here to quickly develop our pieces and get some get a quick castle here. So sometimes, guys, you are in such a queen is under attack, your pieces are not developed, and if your opponent gives you one check available, that will help you to just um, nullify the attack of these pawns, and quickly get a castle on the king side. So let me just move the queen. I have to be very quick now because there is no increment in commentary well as playing. So I have to make sure that I don't make any blunders while speaking. Thinking and speaking at the same difficult. Is it difficult to all the viewers out there? Just let me know in the comment section. Also hit the like button and share with your friends as much as possible. If you haven't subscribed, we have crossed the 500 subscribers, guys. So that gives a good to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, it's your chance today to subscribe to the channel and join our family, so that the channel grows and it grows to. This is all for you, the explanation of all the games, tactics out there. And okay, so opponent has left the. I can claim the victory in about 23 seconds. Let's wait for that to happen. But I believe that Berserk should have been allowed here. That's the comments that we are getting. Few of the players that Berserk mode has to be allowed, because now if you look at this game against this player, I could have gone in the Berserk mode. I could have tried to score more. Then my team would have been dropped very quickly. So let me claim a victory here. Try to play the next game again. So if there are any players out there, you can let me know. I can cover your game. We can try to. Let me. Okay, I am not yet in the top six top players. I have just won two games out there, so I am on the double point scoring round. So if I win the next one, I might come in the top of the players. So a good first three teams: Gujarat Lions, Sri Lanka, and just talent in Pakistan. We still have 44 minutes remaining, and I have got the next game. Let me just play quickly. E4 opening this time, and he has played E6. So this is called as a French defense, guys. And then I'll just explain you one of the attacking lines that is possible. Addition of French defense. So E5 can be played, and now Knight C6 is expected, and we can play knight f3, and now queen b6 is expected. After pawn b6 has been played, so that black is not. If queen b6 is played, I was going to show you the bishop d3 line. It's a nice trap that you can play from white side. Some black gets stuck into that trap, but if black is able to manage to get out of the trap, then you do have some other resources that you can explore here. Try to attack as much as possible from white side, because you get an open f file in that variation. Okay, so bishop e3 has been played, and knight d2. I think, yeah, this was possible actually. I missed it. Pawn takes, but this e5 was hanging, so I could not play it right now. So first rook e4 the e5 pawn, and next we will try to capture this pawn now. If knight e3, yeah, bishop takes pawn is now possible. I think that is going to give me a better position now. I can just control this critical square diagonal, and now this castling is being stopped. Let me just put the bishop back on e3. So this is how opponent's castle as much as possible, and not allow to put him in his king on the castle side. So black has played queen c7, trying to attack my e5 pawn with knight, the bishop, and the queen. So if knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, I don't have anything good out there to play. So let's try to play bishop b5. I am inviting him to play knight takes e5 here, so that I can later on he has to come to d7, and then I can give this queen a4 check, which will put the king in a difficult situation, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so h2 is captured. Now knight takes. And now there are two options actually. We can actually play rook takes knight, takes bishop, or even we can try to play queen to e5 out there. Bishop d6 is not possible. Try to play rook takes knight. We don't have much time right now. Bishop takes d7, and there is a mate threat here on e1 square. But before that, let's give this check. Now the king has to come to this c7 or c8 square, and now we can play queen takes pawn, trying to threat this pawn out there on the f7. e7 square is being defended by this knight, so I cannot give this queen e7 check right away. Possible for the defense? Yeah, that's correct. Let's bring back the queen so that this king is still in a difficult situation. Now we'll put our knight on this even 3, and knight g5 is possible. So, oh, a free queen out there. Thank you very much, a free queen, and I think that should be winning for me now. Easy win. Yeah, Black Reza, let's go back to tournament. So I'm quickly playing a few games, guys. Just let me know if you are bored with my play and see some other games. I will switch over to the other games. All the viewers out there, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button. I cannot see much likes coming on the video. So make sure you are hitting the like button as quickly as possible. Yeah, I can see now myself in the top of the few players out there. And I am playing against a high rated player now, 2174. So this is going to be a good game. I think d4, e4 will be played. I can play d6 and try to stop his center control as much as possible. Pawn takes and knight takes, and I think knight d7 can be played here. It's not the best move, but yeah, we can play it. And now bishop d7. f4 is now expected. Rook c8 can be played first. Rook, let's play rook b8, pawn a6, and pawn to b4. Okay, so pawn a6 is played first. c3 knight is hanging. If something happens, then we have this beautiful bishop sitting on the g7 square. Okay, I c8, try to attack this pawn. King h2 is expected. Rook can be played to d8 now. Rook to c1, and now b5 is not possible. Let's play bishop e6 first. Knights capture the d4 knight first. Ha ha, knight e7. That's a blunder from my side, guys. I think I should stop playing now and better to just show you some games. Okay, I'm actually a bit disturbed right now by doing the commentary, time increment, and playing the games also. Let me pause quickly and just try to get you some games from the tab. Okay, so we have top game going here. Let's check that game. The game is between the Nikaru Hakamura is and from Arthikan from Sri Lanka. So d4, g6, bishop f4, bishop g7, knight c3, knight to f6, pawn to e4, pawn to d6, queen to d2, castles, knight f3, knight b7, castles, pawn to c6, and pawn to h4, pawn to h5. And this is actually right setup now to get this bishop onto h6 and try to exchange this dragon-like bishop here, who is just breathing fire on this a till the a1 square. So bishop h6, pawn to b5, bishop takes, king takes, and bishop d3, pawn to a5, king to b1, bishop to a6, pawn to knight to g4, and queen to g5 now, pawn to b4, bishop takes, pawn takes, and bishop d3. So this bishop is nicely placed now on this d3 square to attack this king. And black is having this beautiful open file which he can exploit by playing queen b6 and rook b8, trying to put pressure here in the b file. So rook b8 first, pawn to b3, and pawn to a4, trying to exploit this weaknesses in the white's camp. This, if a file and b file both are opened, then it will be difficult for white to survive. So pawn to e6, pawn takes pawn. Black is willing to sacrifice his piece on d7. So, but white has not captured the pawn. White is not captured the knight on d7. So if pawn takes knight here, what can the black play? Black can play this move. Pawn takes, then rook comes over here, and comes over to a1, and then probably have to find some combination to win after that. But this king is actually locked on a1 square, so this queen can come to the b6 and threat met on b8 also, or b2 also. So yes, I think so. Pawn takes pawn, king to a1, and queen b6 would have been a difficult thing to defend from white side. Then rook b1 is not possible because of pawn takes b1. So hence, like white has denied that piece on d7, and instead he played c6. Now knight f6. Now the knight is safe. So pawn takes pawn, rook takes pawn, queen pawn takes, bishop takes g6, uh, rook to b5. What would have happened if queen would have captured this pawn? If queen would have captured, I think king to f8 was expected, and probably knight g then. Knight g5, knight e6 threat would have been a stronger move right there. Yep. So queen g6 should have been played. After queen g6, king to f8, and knight g5 would have been a stronger move. Okay, so let's go to the main moves. So rook to b5 and pawn to d5. Back on the queen. So I think pawn c2 is not available. So queen a5 is played now, and bishop can be moved to. There are a lot of threats again. I think c2 is playable. C2, rook c5 check. So I was just thinking about this move. Bishop takes h5 and bishop takes g4. Probably it's possible, but let's check what happened in the game. Knight d4 was played, queen a3, and now there is a threat of mate on. So let's go back few moves. Yeah, ef7 was played. Rook f7, bishop g6, rook b5, pawn to d5, queen a5, d4, pawn to queen to a3, threatening a mate on b2 square now. So the bishop f7 check, king 6 f7, and queen c1 back to defend. Knight to queen to b4, knight to b5 check, pawn to b5, and pawn to f3. Knight f2 is now possible, I think. So knight f2 was played, queen e3, and knight takes d1. First, we do have this queen e6 check, but it's okay. Rook takes d1 can be played first. Queen to c5, queen takes, pawn takes, and king to c2, pawn to b4. So black has this nice little fortress here, which will hold white's king back, because if king leaves and rook leaves also, then this c2 very critical. So hence, just to destroy this pawn structure, I think white is trying to sacrifice the pawn here, so that after e takes d6, rook can come to d6 and try to attack this c5 pawn. So e takes, rook takes, and king to d7. Rook to c6, knight d7 was played, supporting this c5. So pawn to a3 and king to d8. Pawn takes, and now rook h6. Knight moves to c5, and I think this should be easily winning for white now. So I think black resigned. So let's go back to the game and go to tournament and check the next game. So Gujarat right now on 188, followed by the Sri Lanka team, then the chess talent in Pakistan, and Khelo chess India. So we have Bala Mudliar from Gujarat Lions on top right now. Then we have Casper on top as well. Then we have Ghulam Mustafa from position on 26. We have Bhagesh Sadhu from Gujarat Lions again, Jude the Dead Man, and Sonia Tharwa. Parik Harikrishna is Gujarat Lions captain, so he's also on number 7 right now. So it's a very nice battle going on for with all the teams, and especially I think Gujarat Lions are fighting neck to neck here. Let's check the next game between. Let's pick up this game. Amin Malik and Bhagesh Sadhu. So White is winning this one actually. White has already won this one. So let's check what happened in the opening. Okay, so e4, d5, e takes d5, knight f6, pawn to c4, pawn to c6, d takes c6, knight takes c6, and knight to c3, pawn to e5. So this is what actually happens when the white becomes greedy and try to capture as much as pawns possible, because then this e5 pawn puts brakes on white's development. White cannot play d4. Okay, let's quickly go back to the position. So yeah, so something that should not be played here, because after c4, pawn c6, and if you capture, then white is very happy to put the pawn in center and try to, but the black is very happy to put the pawn in center and try to control all these critical squares. So pawn to c6, pawn takes, and knight to c3, pawn to e5, knight to f3, and battle for remaining of his game, guys. This is not the way white should play. White should not accept these gambits out there. Bishop to g5, pawn to h4, pawn to g5. Is there a move like knight takes g5 possible? Knight takes g5, pawn takes g5, bishop takes f7, king takes f7, knight to g4 check, queen takes g4, bishop takes g4, and bishop takes. So that would be in favor of white, I suppose. Okay, but it's difficult. So knight takes g5, work, because black white's king will also be exposed because of this bishop takes f2 check. Okay, so not to take any risks, he just played bishop to and rook to e8, bishop to e2, queen to b3, and now f2 is supported by the bishop, but the b2 pawn is now hanging with this queen. So queen to d2, knight to h5, knight to a4. This is a nice move. Probably not the best because bishop, but White's idea is correct to get the pieces off the board as quickly as possible. So bishop b4, knight takes b6, bishop takes 2, king takes d2, pawn takes b6, pawn to a3, knight to f4, bishop takes f4, pawn takes f4, and pawn to h4. Trying to just create some chances here on the king side, but I think g4 is something that will put again a question mark in white's position how to continue. So bishop f3, and I think rook to d8 is now on the cards, putting the pressure on this d3 pawn. So king c3, and a free pawn, the free bishop here on e2 actually led to white's loss. So nothing to be checked after that. Let's quickly go back. Okay, there is something happening here, guys. Okay, so after rook takes, black is having an extra piece out there. Okay, so black can actually win this one easily, but he decided to give away his exchange because of this knight d4 move. So here, this is knight e5 is a blunder actually. You are allowing this knight to come on d4 and give this beautiful fork, which might lead to loss of one of the pieces. So here, actually, you should pay attention. Whenever you are piece up, just make sure you don't create any blunders out there, guys. Just try to put your pieces on the safe position. Just you should have captured the pawn on f2. Give me a sec, guys. I'll quickly check. Sorry, guys, I got an urgent call. So this is how
So knight d4 is actually a good move. You just give away this knight e5 move is a blunder out there, guys. You should have just captured the pawn here and continued the game. But I think knight to e5 and then this fork was critical here. And pawn to f3, pawn takes, and pawn to c5, knight to g4, pawn takes b6, knight takes f2, king to d2, e4 check. And I think yeah, this is winning for black now. Still he has this b7 pawn, which can be okay. So he allowed actually black allowed white to queen his pawn, and then he lost on time actually. So black's move, the turning point of game was here, guys, where this fork was allowed. So that's where black was winning this one actually easily. Okay, so white lost on time, but white could have won this one. Okay, guys, let's go back to the tournament and check the next game. So all the viewers out there, just make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and put your comments, questions in the comment section, guys. I cannot see any new comments coming up. So just come back and I would be happy to answer them. So we have next game between we have checked actually all we have checked. Let's check this one. So this game is between Gujarat Lions and Chess Giant in Pakistan. That's happened in the opening. C4 English opening was played. C4 C6, knight to C3, pawn to D5, pawn takes, and pawn to D4. Bishop G5, knight E4. Knight takes, pawn takes, and pawn to E3. Queen to A5 check, queen D2, and queen takes bishop. So this is a trap which many miss in the opening, guys. Look at this. Okay, so knight e4 is played here, knight takes, pawn takes, and pawn to e3 because this allows this queen a5 check and queen takes g5. You can Google Cambridge Springs. Okay, Cambridge Spring variations, which I think you find in semi-Slav or Queen's Gambit declined, wherein Bishop b4 and Queen a5 is played, and this is a similar happens in Cambridge Springs, wherein you are able to capture this bishop for free actually. So just make sure you Google out Cambridge Springs variation. There are a lot of videos out there that you can pick up and learn from them. Okay, so this bishop is now free, and then probably I think Black was pretty happy in the remaining part of the game. Yeah, I think Black was very happy. He won quickly. So let's go back to the tournament and check the next game. So right now, Khelo Chess India is lacking very much. There is no good players joining today from Khelo Chess India. Probably today in the 9:30 p.m. team battle that happens every day. And at the daytime, most of the good players are busy or probably they must be busy in some other work. So not a good performance today from Khelo Chess India. Still, we have 24 minutes. We can just hope to get on to the third position at least, if not fourth. Okay, so let's check the next game. We have okay. Let's check Sonia Tharwa's game. We have pawn to c4, pawn to g6. So Sonia Tharwa is playing from Khelo Chess India. Is playing from the black side, and Pasan is playing from the white side. c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, pawn g3, pawn to d6, bishop pawn knight to c6, and pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight d2. Knight to h6, castles, pawn to f6, pawn to d4, castles, pawn to h3, pawn to d7, bishop to e3, knight f7. So as soon as this bishop comes to e3, this knight goes to the f7. That this queen d2 becomes ineffective immediately, and queen d2, queen to ca, just trying to capture this pawn here on h3. So knight e7 and pawn to c5, pawn to f5, pawn takes, knight takes, and pawn takes e5, bishop takes e5 and f4. So guys, and bishop to g7, bishop takes c3 was played. I think this is not the best move because now this bishop can switch to this beautiful diagonal out there to e5 and this d4 and to this h8 diagonal, so that it becomes it gives some good now. Yeah, I think this move is critical. Even bishop can come back now to f3, keeping the pressure on the b7 pawn, or even bishop can come to g2. Yeah, support this h3 pawn as well as keep the attack on the b7 pawn. Rook d8 or rook d8 can be played probably, or even Yeah, rook d8 attacking this queen, gaining a tempo here. So now queen just trying to play. Yeah, queen b4 has been played, trying to put the pressure on the b7. Knight c6, and now probably queen to c5 can be played, threatening to capture this bishop. Takes pawn, knight, pawn takes, and queen takes c6, and then also probably putting the rook on the d1 to attack this d8. So queen c5 has been played as queen rook to d1. I think is the next upcoming move. Meanwhile, black can try to play rook d3 move. If rook d1, then come to d7 and support the rook on d3. If rook takes, then queen takes can be played, and then the other rook can come on d8. Yeah, I think that should be a fair enough plan for black to survive at least. Yeah, okay, but queen d7 was played, not rook to d3. d1 now, queen takes d1, I think will be played. Yes, queen takes d1 has been played, rook takes and rook takes. So that is an exciting battle, guys. But I think white is going to win this one easily because he has bishops, and these two bishops are going to be very difficult to handle now. I think king hg7 is forced, and if with no bishop d4 check is not allowed. But this is not going to be easy for black now because this rook is dead. If this rook would have been somewhere on d3 or some open file, it could have been effective. But this is actually very passive. Yeah, and pawn to g4. I think pawn bishop can now come e4. If bishop e4, then f5 check can be played, and then pawn g5 is compulsory, and queen f6 will be a check and mate in that case. So pawn takes bishop, and yeah, that's the win for white. So nice game, guys. Coming to a beautiful end right now. I think pawn takes pawn can be played, and rook will be doubled now on e6. Bishop d2, then rook e2 check is possible again. Let's check this game, guys. It's again, I think, a Scandinavian game. E4, d5, pawn takes d5, queen takes d5, knight c3, queen to d8, pawn to d4, and game has been over. But in this game, so pawn to e4, pawn to d5, and pawn takes, queen takes, and knight to c3, queen to d8, pawn to d4, pawn to c6, knight to f3, knight to f6, bishop e2, pawn e6, and castles, bishop to d6, bishop to g5. Knight to d7, knight to e5, and it's a free e5. Knight takes e5, pawn takes e5, bishop takes e5, queen takes d8, king takes d8, bishop takes f6, g takes f6, and then when check, I think should be okay for king c7 should be okay for black. So why didn't black capture the pawn on this knight here? The pawn was free. Okay, so anyways, queen c7 was played, pawn to f4, pawn to h5, and pawn to g6, pawn to e4, knight to d5, knight to e4, knight takes, pawn takes, and bishop e7. Pawn to b6, pawn to c4, knight to b4, and queen to b3, pawn to a5. And I think there should some kind of move like pawn to d5. By playing this yeah, d5, I think pawn takes, knight takes d5, bishop b5 check is there, bishop d7 can be played, and then rook c1 is also threatening the queen. I think d5 should be played here by white. Get an attack quickly and try to win as soon as possible here. So queen f3 was played, threatening to capture the f7 pawn, rook to f8, and knight to f6, bishop takes, and queen to d7, attacking the d4 pawn. So pawn to d5, pawn takes, queen takes. Okay, bishop b5, d7, and rook to d1. I think here bishop d7 was okay. So queen takes queen and bishop takes. I think here instead of rook d1, bishop takes d7 was a better move, because if king takes d7, then rook to d1, trapping the queen. And if bishop takes d7, queen takes d7, then we have queen takes e8, a free rook out there. Probably queen d8 is forced then, and we can still have good attack with the queen and rooks out there. So I think queen bishop takes d7 was so rook d1 was played, queen takes f3, bishop takes d7, queen to king to d8, and rook takes f3, knight to d5, bishop to c6. This is where the black resigned. The game would have been quickly ended by a fight actually. So the thing is that black had invested a lot of moves in moving, and there were absolutely no attention paid to the castling of the king. So there was no castling at all. So this is how is prize in case the castling is not done, guys. Okay, so you have to pay attention and always try to castle as quickly as possible. Tournament, try to find the next game that we can play. So we have game between Wild Frog and Bala Mutliar. So c4 was played, knight f6, g3, h5, h4, to d5, pawn takes, queen takes, and knight to f3. Knight to c6, bishop to g2, knight to e4, e3, knight f6 back, and now knight c3, queen to f5, queen f5. Was there bishop h3 possible? Bishop h3, and where would the queen go? I think queen b3 is correct. Now the threat is bishop h3. If queen moves, then we can capture the c8, rook and queen takes b7 is possible. So pawn e5 and bishop h3 was played. Knight to g5, knight to d5, threatening this on c7, as well as I think this e3 is also possible. Knight e3. So bishop to d6, knight to e3, bishop b4 check. One interesting game here. Knight to e3 check, bishop takes e3, and queen goes back to f6. Even now, actually, I think bishop takes c8 was possible. Bishop takes c8, rook takes c8, and pawn to a3 was played. Then if bishop moves, then queen b7 pawn. So hence, I think bishop takes c8 could have been played actually. So bishop b5, bishop g5, 6, bishop takes c8, rook takes c8, pawn to a3, bishop to c5, queen b7, and this is live position, guys. So and save his queen, queen a6 is forced here. So interesting turn of events. Black, I think, is in the difficult position. Rook takes c5 is now the threat. Rook takes c5, queen takes c5, and queen takes d8 check and mate was the threat. So rook takes c5. I think rook b1 check was possible. King g2, rook takes h1 was also possible. So it could have given chances for black out there. But okay, castles has been played. Now the threat of this knight e6, which will put some attack on the queen. So white has to take care. Bishop d8 is played. Rook takes d8 is forced. Queen has to come back to f. And now knight g5 is going to be a good threat. Okay, the e4 pawn was hanging. e5. Now the rook is also hanging. So black goes for this rook takes and rook comes to e2, supporting attacking this knight on e5 and also attacking this f2 pawn. So an interesting battle go takes f2 is now expected. And now rook can come to e8. Okay, rook d3 is also possible. I didn't see that coming. Takes d3, and now this g3 pawn I think will be in bit of bother out there. And rook takes a3. Rook to e3, and the knight is attacked. f7 pawn is. I think this knight might hold a better. Yeah, knight g5, and there will be some mating threats out there if possible. His pawn is very strong. It's unstoppable right now. So bishop c5, and now rook b3 and rook b2 can be played. Yeah, rook b2 check. Yeah, but knight d3 is going to save this. Yeah, knight c3 is going to save this queening square time. But the c pawn is now very strong, and king d3 can be played. C2 pawn, c2 square is now guarded. So now the king has to join the party. Oh, that's winning for black. That's winning for black now. Yep. So white resigns. Let's go back to the tournament. So last 11 minutes remaining, guys, and a huge lead by Gujarat Lions. You can see 230, and Sri Lanka catching up very soon on 210. We have Chess Talent in Pakistan with 183 points, and we have Khelo Chess India on 118 points. Chess Talent in Pakistan, we have these. Let's check the top players from each of the teams. So Gujarat Lions, we have Casper 2154 with 38 points. Nikaru Hakamura, Bhagyesh Sadhu, Daksh, then we have Parikh Harikrishna, Pranay, Sanjay, all playing outside. We have Sri Lanka, Team Sri Lanka. We have these top 8 players, and we have Chess Talent in Pakistan. They are also having a very good list of players, 34. And we have Khelo Chess India. Not a bad performance, but still not the best one till now. Okay, let's try to join back and play one game without losing this time. Last time we made a blunder out there. So I'll just try to make sure that I don't blunder this time. And also the commentary, it needs a lot of attention. So if you're playing a game and doing the commentary at the same time, it's not easy, guys. So all the viewers out there, just make sure you hit the like button before you leave. So let's try to play Sicilian defense now. I hope actually the increment and the berserk mode, so that would have actually helped us to score quickly. So this line is called as check over variation. When where queen take played, it is called as check over variation. CHECK check over CHECKOVER check over variation, and that actually is a different way to play against the Sicilian defense. It will put black not in his favorite comfortable positions, but black has to make sure that he plays in the right way. Now I have this knight f3, knight to d3, and this attack over here. So queen has to move probably to b3 to attack the b7 pawn, but then I have this knight f3 check, g takes f3, and then I can play this bishop c6. So let's capture this first, capture the pawn, try to attack here. We also have a d5 like move, but let's first defend this b7 pawn, bishop e3, and I think I can play d5 now. So bishop is going to eat this check first. I think yeah, that's winning for me now. So a quick win, check, and bishop d2 will be played. I can capture the pawn on b2. Rook can now be played to c file. I can just castle up rook on the c file. Queen c6, let me capture the free pawn here. And now rook g1 will be played. Okay, not rook g1, I can just play this move. And that's a check and mate, guys. Okay, let's go back to the tournament. At least one good player I think I can get. Yep, 1942, yeah. He seems to be a good player. Let's try to play game without making blunders this time. Let's try to play something different. Pawn b, d takes c5 is expected. Knight to f3. Let's me capture the pawn. Knight to f6, and this is kind of a different kind of opening. This is not something that we see. I think d5 has for this move, just to make sure that this both squares are controlled beautifully. And knight is attacked again. So where would this knight go? It might go to b3. If knight goes to f3, then we can just pin the knight here. Bishop goes back, and now we can develop the remaining of our pieces. I think castles is something that is expected now. If castles, we can bring back the bishop here to the c7 so that we get this attack on this h2 square. Knight b4 and knight b5 is expected, a6 has to be that. And then probably queen d6, yeah. Immediately he puts his knight on the b5 square. A6 is I think I'm going to play next. Knight back. And once the knight goes, I can try to play the queen to d6 now. Okay, so queen takes d5 is possible. Yeah, knight will go back to c3, and I can then play queen to d6. Yep. Now there is a threat of this queen h2 check and mate. If bishop takes f3 is allowed, so I think pawn g6 will be played. Yeah, b6. Let's try to put some pressure in the open file on this bishop. Now the threat is bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, queen takes d2 to get a free piece on d2. So you have to keep threatening something on every move. Okay, so now queen is trying to be exchanged. Now we should not exchange the queen. Yeah, once the queens are white will be very happy. So what we can, oh, I wanted to play queen e6 here just to attack this h3 pawn so that the queen is attacked, queen moves, and I can get one. But by mistake, I think it got slip off click. You can say this is actually bad. I was winning this one easily, but sometimes a wrong click happens in the game.
So that's fine. Let's try to double up the rooks now in the d file. Rook takes rook, and rook will be played to d1 again. And rook d1, bishop d1, bishop f3, knight. There is nothing that I can play right now. Let's try to first push some pawns. Knight takes, and now we can play. Now this is going to be not going to be an easy one. Let's play pawn f6 first and bishop back into the on the king side. Bishop d6. All the squares are trying to be defended here. So all the minor pieces are there on the board. So there are going to be a lot of tactics here. The person who will first miss the tactic will lose this game. Okay, so what we have here? We have c4 move. Once the bishop moves, I can put this knight on e5. Bishop there, and I think this bishop is trapped. Not trapped, but okay. So bishop takes. Knight should have been played first. Try to get this. Now this f7 is forced. Okay, so king takes f7, and now pawn takes bishop, and that will two knights. And now I think I have to be quick here. I cannot just. I have to play knight b6, knight d5, and pawn a5 and pawn b4. Yep. Pawn a5. Knight moves, knight takes, and now bishop takes, and this another knight can now jump to the d4 square. Okay, so that will leave my. So if bishop takes a5, I'll capture this b2 pawn. Now the king has to sit on the d5 square as quickly as possible. Yes. On to f5 check. And now I think I just have very Very less time left, guys. I have to move. Let's sacrifice some pawns here. Knight here. Check, pawn push, pawn push. Knight takes pawn. Check, and knight comes here to b3, trying to support. Queen on, knight takes, and I should capture the a3 pawn now. Oh, oh, I missed this one. Yeah, so I lost on time now. Let's go back to tournament. Last 37 seconds. So the pairings have been closed, and it would be a great tournament coming to a very nice end. Not so good for Khelo Chess India. Performance is not the best today, but that's okay. Sometimes we can expect a bad performance, an average performance, not a bad performance. So still, I would congratulate Sony Atharva from Hello Chess India to score points. Then we have, I think, Wild Frog and Mai Shakti, Vinay, J Vipin, Ronit, and Trisha Soni. So all of these players from Hello Chess India, congratulations to you to be in the top 10 or top 8. We can see Gujarat Lions are winners for today with 251 points, a huge lead in the score. And the top player from from the Gujarat Lions is Bala Mutliar, followed by Casper, and on third place we have Nikaru Hakamura. Good performances by all three. From Sri Lanka, we have on first place with 42 points. Then we have Jude the Dead Man, and we have M. Rakhtar from Sri Lanka again. And from just in Pakistan, we have Ghulam Mustafa on first position with 42 points. Then we have world champion on 38 points, and we have Amin Malik from Pakistan again with on third place. So congratulations to all the winners out there. This is going to be the last few minutes of this broadcast. So all the viewers out there, just make sure you like the video before you leave, subscribe to the channel, and share with your much as possible. So that's all from this broadcast, guys. I hope you liked it.